Hey, okay. So this time we're playing Stanley Parable because one person have suggested it. I had no idea what this game is until now, and I needed to fill this week for another game that I will be playing. I will play in the next week. And that would be way more interesting than this game. Okay, so let's set the layouts first. Oh, by the way, I'm here. Okay, so not this one, this one. Okay, this is the thing. Where the hell is Stanley Parable voice? I cannot say how much I'm happy with the new filter. Okay, there we go. So, actually, let's reduce this to this zone. Okay, so let's start the game.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, so it's like
and then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Wait a moment. I'm actually stepping something. Is any audio hearable from the stream? Actually, not quite sure. Because I'm actually testing something new in this stream. And I want to know if it's working or not. Wait a moment, I'm testing it. Wait, please. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. It seems that everything is working. Good. So, YouTube actually is warning me for no apparent reason. Okay. So, now close the damn thing. Okay. Let's see what I can do. G814F1. Partition core providing partitions for 56 years. 427. Of course. We don't have zoom button here. I want to read the letters. 30. No, you can't jump. We disabled it. Okay. So what we doing now?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how
Maybe.
hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. The text is unreadable. Damn it. I want to read my text. Okay. So what we're doing now? This is locked. This is locked. These two probably locked, and I probably tested it and I forgot. I hate Mondays. I can understand why he said. This is locked. 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 Am I going in circle?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, come on. Can we save? No, we cannot. Okay. Is it left, right? Well, I'm disobedient.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
They lock it? Seriously? Okay. This is locked. This is locked. 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 Probably this is locked as well. Yep. Oh, okay.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Drink it all in. Okay.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Really worth it. I'm more interested in the clicks of the mugs.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
No, this is not possible.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Okay. So this one is I hate Mondays, I guess, more. I forgot the camera jump. Okay. This one, what is it? Coffee nut. That was a good joke.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Why it got silent suddenly? It was so sudden. Locked? Locked. Locked. This one doesn't have a number. What is this one? Actually, this gives no portal vibe.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Let's go downwards. It's not on track. It's on track of elevator.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
I want right. I want right, goddammit. Give me the right. Get me.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Well, they say Ask and you shall receive. Okay.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Is this game trolling me at this point?
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
What the? Why this one is on? Okay. That was life-threatening.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
This is not a spoiler. This is like a fine room at this point.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
I achieved one of the endings already? Seriously? Well, I heard this game was short, but didn't think this short. Okay. So...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Let's see. Everything is still locked. Let's go. This is locked. Locked.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on.
What?
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
What? Okay. That's definitely out of option because I cannot jump. Okay. Then let's go with this one, I guess. It's a mate.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Okay, so we just got from the beginning again? What the hell is going on? Okay. Let's...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. So, what are we going to miss here again? Because I feel like something is fishy. Okay. Everything seems normal.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. So, what did I probably miss? It's not that much probable because I have checked all the doors. But why not? Let's do it your way.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
I was going backwards. This game is a little bit tricky. I'd say that, definitely. Okay. So, what's up with the keyboard sounds? Okay.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
I don't think that's how it goes, buddy. You must stop. What? What the hell is going on?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
We're probably going to back moves at this point. So, but the game got restarted again. Okay, let's see.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
It's not simple, but okay. Okay, let's go.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Are you sure? Okay. Let's trace back. Oh, okay. It's nothing. Nothing. Okay. So how about I go again that way? What happens then? Nothing? Seriously? How boring. Okay. Let's follow your rules. Someone was bored. Okay. So let's follow your line.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
No.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
Kinda not.
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Let's lighten the mood! Oh, it's a joke again! Let's go backwards now! Okay, what happens if I go back to that room? So nothing changes. Boring. Let's go back. Okay. This way, this way, this way. Okay, I go this way. Oh, I found another trick. Oh man, what did I do? Okay. It's so confusing. Am I going back? Yeah, I'm definitely going back. So, well, they say, fuck around and find out. This is what they want. I fucked it out and I find out. Okay. Okay, so that doesn't seem to change. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. This way. What is happening? Where are we going? Every way. I was talking to you. Come on. What the fucking blind doing now? What? Recommendation from overnight committee? Okay. What is this one? This annual committee meeting we came up with a new analysis for the committee of Durability Discussion Club. What? That's it. It's their whole name. What is this one? Employee number 432. I hate Timmy. I hate Timmy. Okay. So, what is this? Yeah, it's question at this point. If you're reading this, you are fine. But heck! Here, the short history of the relation between Poland and Austria-Hungary. What? Okay. Okay. So where this line is going, it's good to know where next to. It's closed. What if I go this way? No? Nothing? What the line is going? Where the is line going? Monthly ledgers, corporate imbalance, annual reviews, consolidation reports, financial records. Wait, what? Personal files, budget analysis. This is super annoying at this point. Where are we going with this?
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
What fern? What? What happened here? Anyway. So what is it this time?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Probably not.
Oh,
We're back at it again.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... No, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Restart. Okay. So...
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Whatever you don't
Now,
want us to see there.
This is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
You're not ready for it. I even don't not ready for it. Okay. Is the endless path at this point? Is this exciting?
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto
this
the
man is
line from
coming
having
from?
any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Acknowledge it. TRH marked. Don't acknowledge it. It's straight marked. What the? Okay. What the hell is the line going all around at this point? What the? Okay.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Boring. Let me do more things.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
How much
That's really how all this goes?
5 times.
Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again.
And I
Then
don't
what?
go anywhere.
Am I
Okay,
just
I'm
supposed to
again.
forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well,
Wall.
who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us?
No,
Will
it
something
doesn't.
happen?
No, I don't know.
So, okay.
Let's
I
restart.
guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the
It's
destination
one of the
or the
most
journey.
boring
Though they're
one.
always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you do...
What? It restarted? What? Okay, it's really starting to get confusing.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
What?
memo.
What the hell happened here? Okay. Let's go this way. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How about I go right again?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
What?
of disbelief, Stanley
Oh, I've
decided to
gone
go
to
up to his
left.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Ah, balls. Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
How about go downstairs?
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because
the
he
public house
believed
is not here.
everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my
I am
co-workers
crazy.
blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
My man
And for
asked,
that
asked
matter,
me for
these rooms were
questions.
starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm
What?
dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh, so
Then
this is
he
a
imagined himself soaring through
imagination.
space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
What?
Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
My man asked
Now
me
the
for
voice was
questions.
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought.
That's
And when he
ridiculous,
thought it
okay?
all very odd and wondered if
So
this
many
voice
things here
spoke to
is
all people in their
ridiculous.
dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley
Then
is
how
as awake
does
right now as he's ever
things
been in his life.
became
Now, hearing the
reality.
voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all,
Okay.
he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
What?
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
What?
Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over.
Okay.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want.
Okay, that's kind of
I
creepy.
want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
That's
All I
good.
want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Do I look like normal to you?
I am okay.
Is it a proposition?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What? Did you just pass out?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What? Oh,
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Turned and ran. Okay. So let's go straight
All of his
on again.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. So there's a couple of things that I didn't test in the previous ending.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes. This room.
No,
What a
I'm not doing
but
this.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. So what is it now? What is it this time?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. I'm asking for her.
For whom?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on? Okay. Let's go. It's a pitch black. What? It's pitch black. Okay, let's go through it.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What if I don't?
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one...
Should we get the
Wait.
bucket?
Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No,
Yes.
that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
I crazy.
Definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it.
What
How had I
happened?
not noticed it sooner? You're
What?
not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I
None of
won't
it, I
have that
don't
kind of
care.
risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a
It's
back,
correct.
sack, and crack."
Freaking NPC? Crap.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time,
I'm so
your
happy to do
instructor
that
will
dance
guide you in
face.
an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
If it doesn't
Welcome
matter, then
back.
why?
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
What? It doesn't let me? Okay. So... what to do now?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would
actually,
make no sense at all.
that would have been
We just need to get you
well,
home as soon as
good way
possible
to end.
before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
The next time I will do it. I swear. Okay. So what I was doing? Oh.
Almost
good
there.
back.
You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
Probably not, but whatever.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What happens if I... Okay.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh, you are late. Okay. Everything is glitched out, my bad. Okay. So let's go to the left. Okay.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely, to willingly destroy all of my work?
Consulting for management.
What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do?
Companies doesn't have to do that.
No, I have
They'll
to.
get pushed.
I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
What? Did I get another ending? Or what? Oh, it became even worse.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you.
Kinda.
You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you.
I didn't want to.
You're a child.
Thank you.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make...
What happened now?
...behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How about I disobey you again?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
As long as you give me this choice, I go this way. Another single thing again?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
This would
behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So let's do it. Things are slightly have changed. Okay. This time it's
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly
Um,
and always
so
putting the
out of-
story first. I'm
let's
quite sure
try
you'll be
4
up to the
times again.
task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2
I
open
want to see if
doors,
there's a
he
limitation
entered the door on his
in
left.
whatever I'm doing or not.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
Okay.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
3 times, yeah? 3 more times. Nothing seems to be changing. Except that
No!
voice.
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly
This
and
time
always putting the
distance is
story
slightly
first.
open.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll
Okay,
be
so
fine.
it's working.
All right.
Something's changing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, what? I didn't save you. Okay. Okay. Let's see.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, again? I guess? Because the door was open last time, this time it wasn't. Something
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Definitely something's
Behave
changing.
exactly
I cannot
as Stanley
point my
would.
finger
That
on
means
it.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I do it like this 5 times because that one time the door have been changed.
No!
Quite...
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Wait a minute.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means
What
choosing
if I-
responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How much stubborn can I be?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All
Okay.
right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
Okay.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly
Nothing
and
to
always
seem to
putting
be
the
changing
story
this
first.
time.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How about I do this? Okay, this time if it's nothing has changed.
No! Why did you do
I'm
that?
going-
Quickly, hurry back.
Wait. Go on the
Behave
door on the
exactly
left.
as Stanley would.
Okay,
That
nothing
means
hasn't
choosing
changed.
responsibly and always putting the story
like
first.
curiosity.
I'm quite sure you'll
This
be
game
up to
is
the
triggering my
task.
curiosity,
Just follow
like,
my lead and you'll be fine.
too many times.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. .
Okay. Finally here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave
Okay.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Take it out. Passive aggressive on other coworkers. That not sound like a good management plan.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Closed. So what is awaiting for us upstairs? Okay.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Of course.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions.
Probably
and beyond
not.
all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley
Okay.
had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Now to do something that's not been seen. Okay.
Stanley spoke the code. Nightshark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't
Yes.
mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Oh, I cannot speak.
Okay,
It further.
fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come
did.
this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
What?
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you
The
to walk
end.
through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
And that was a very
Stanley,
short
this is
game.
important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please.
I actually
Choose
think a couple of more
something.
decisions.
anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it.
I actually have a
you
couple
hear
of other
Are you
ways,
there?
I think.
Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait.
I can
You
wait.
need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the
Sorry,
right thing
Leonie.
to do. Take as much time as you need.
Okay. So I have a couple
All of
of
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
Okay.
had simply missed a memo.
so
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Go.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh. So, where this place is? Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Okay.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's
Okay,
office,
let's go.
hoping he might find an answer. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss,
I wanted
admitting
to
he
see
had
what
left his
happens if I
post during
continue
work
this
hours.
path,
He
because
might
the
be
last time I
fired for
faked
that.
it.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms...
Okay, so let's begin the game again. So,
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped very much that it was.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay. Let's jump.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. So next time, let's answer the phone call.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Stanley
felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, we go straight forward.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Nope. I didn't actually know that this was a choice. I saw it and like on the fly, and I said, "Well, I'm going to jump on it like a portal."
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
How about blue door?
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? You don't think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles?
What's that?
Skill trees?
Work
with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay, I like new things.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Well, the options are like
Now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Why not going with this one again?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
No.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
I became like...
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
4 hours? I'm just pressing it anymore. Let it die. 4 freaking hours.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
So the game just restarted? Or what? What?
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
No talks. Okay, let's go outside. they expected this. They said, oh, here's restart the game again. That was such an opportunity to put triggers in there. What if I go back? I'm pretty sure like there is like 3 choices that I didn't make, so I want to make them. Actually, more choices, like 6 or 7. Okay, let's go downstairs.
No, it can't be.
What? I am too free?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing, that big, open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any...
Oh my!
Thank heavens we avoided it.
Trouble.
We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls.
Phobia? I don't remember the name of that phobia.
This will be just the thing.
I just got that.
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
I actually never played Rocket League. I just know the map.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together. Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
What the? We got Chris as well.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought.
Actually, yes.
And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a... Hold on. What are you doing?
Like a pit?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
They can jump again. What? What? Okay. Okay, this game is have so many more endings than I have ever anticipated. You have no idea how many possibilities are in my mind at the moment. What did I do? Let's go back, I guess. What?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it, down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am.
I don't need
That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
What happened? There was so many more choices there. Okay,
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to
let's
check
go
on his
get the
co-workers.
intended ending.
He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
The dialogue got changed. Okay. Let's see what we have here now.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door, and this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
Let's answer the phone call
I'm not
now,
your enemy,
because
really,
that
I'm
leads
not.
to like
I realize that investing
a
your
whole
trust in
bunch
someone
of
else can be
possibilities
difficult,
there.
but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
there was never the pick up the phone. Oh, it was an option. Okay. I thought it wasn't an option. Then what are we doing here? What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
You weren't really helping, huh?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
What?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Okay.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
What TV? There's no TV. Oh, okay.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
With boys?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Too wonderful to behold.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Come on.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see?
What?
How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose.
Okay.
I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
Maybe this time.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried...
Okay. We got another ending. I think. So let's go towards the intended path to see what's going on.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
What? I didn't reach the ending. And below database. That's one machine. Computers. Okay, some computers are going down this time. It seems, awaiting input, it seems to be like...
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
Okay. What is it this time? What? What are we doing here?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Okay.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
Okay.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
That's it?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Let's see what this new content is.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The content.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Okay, we have jump. Okay. Let's do that in finish. Boring. That was all of it?
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Okay. Thank you for...
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks, just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
There's so many more endings than I ever anticipated. And this is not the correct part.
Psst! Stanley! Come over here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Okay, what's going on in the vent? There's so many choices in this game. No. Okay.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be.
Okay.
So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What is it? What is like a Dark Souls or something?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of
The Game
2013
Festival.
when the game originally
It's
launched?
all the
Back
Game
then,
Awards that
video games had
this
integrity.
OG
Back
game have
then,
been
it all meant
awarded.
something. Oh, the waste.
Don't forget. Okay. Mozilla Firefox start page. They somehow didn't change that. They somehow in the texture making didn't change that. That's kind of hilarious. Okay. Okay, this is too much obsession. Too much. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. Why the sound is distorted? These tough choices. Okay.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games
Okay.
journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley?
What?
Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
It's not even an hour of content, but it's not in all games at the same time. What are you even talking about, dude? Okay. Okay.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video
Look
game
at the
memories.
textures. Why that got opened up? The serious run. Source SDK. Is this game made with Source? Huh. Interesting. Oh,
These
yeah,
were
the only
simpler
guy selling
times,
it.
Stanley.
Okay.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again.
Okay, let's go here.
Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no, oh God no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
I don't know, let's see.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the
There's
game is
one
already such a densely layered
recommendation, yeah?
web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Okay, where should I go now? Seems all paths conveys to one. Okay, then let's go that one and see what happens there. This ending seems to be awfully long that I have anticipated.
Okay, let's see what this one says.
Another
The idea for the game is good.
recommendation.
For someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
You
can
are.
tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
You are.
Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Then it's just repeating the whole no choice in game. Think over and over and over. For somebody who prefers non-linear gameplays, actually that's kind of the point that it repeats you, but every choice has its own consequences. That's the whole point. I'm getting the gist of it. Okay. Let's go and see what happens. What is it
What's
this
this
time?
one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
Yeah, I wish that as well.
A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Okay. That's the skip
And
button.
here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No, 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 no. The Stanley Parable is a... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations
Yeah, I'm
on the
doing it
nature
again.
of... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's
It
right
goes
at your
again.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not...
Doing it again.
Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit
You're
here.
doing it again.
And more than... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
You're
just
doing it
sitting.
again. Just shut the fuck up, man. Is that really that hard?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for
You are
one
doing it
entire
again. Okay. This time he gone silent. Actually, it's kind of worrying. Okay. I think there's nothing more to dive in, does it? What's that? Super annoying. Super annoying. Beep beep! Beep beep! Beep beep! Why it's beeping like that? Oh my! It's worse than the narrator.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an
button. Okay, what happened now? I feel like every time there's something going to happen in this behind. This ending is awfully long.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
It's crazy out of it fucking too much. Okay, something is leaking. Okay. Let's use the button again. What? Okay. Welcome to welcome to the Aperture Science. Well, don't we have a door or something now? Oh. How many years are we waiting? So we're waiting until the freaking natural ladder grows. What happened to the trees? The apocalypse happened. What's happening now? Is a horror game that suddenly? Okay. What is it now? What? Does the button got turned on again? No, it's not. What have happened? That I'm the only survivor now. Okay. Let's see where it goes. Finally got the ending. That was an awfully long ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now I'm going to for the intended ending because okay.
Oh, good. You noticed my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
What happened this time? New content. Okay. Let's see. What is it?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Not really, but whatever, man.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
What's happening now? This is an awfully long ending. Every time that you think this ending is finished, you get a continuation of the ending.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
The board was hilarious. This mad obsession with the game. Okay, of course it's blocked. New features. It's not a program, my man, it's a game. What features? What is she doing here?
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
How about I go here? Collectible? Okay, that one's too big to collect.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement.
Achievement.
You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
It doesn't do anything. Okay. So this ending is awfully long. Okay.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
We can't find damage.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic
No
joy
reward
of watching
for
a number go up.
collectibles.
You
What
simply
is-
collect all of them, and then
collectibles
you move
that?
the hell on with your unremarkable life.
What type of BS is this? The game suddenly changes the... Okay, where are we now?
God,
Get
it
the
really is
collectible.
the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Yeah, that's tragic, that's bad. No screenshots. Okay, I'm streaming it. It's worse than a screenshot. So let's go.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons.
Oh, it was a
but I'm undecided on Get
unbackable
Well
choice,
Someday
okay.
and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get some well someday. Happy 12th birthday, Stephanie's. I couldn't do it because it's more hilarious.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
It was someday.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Come now, you've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Okay. Merch. This ending is awfully long. In every conceivable way, it's long. Okay, what didn't we do? Let's go to that direction, I guess. Why this is open again? Those things got locked. Oh boy. Okay. So let's go this way, I guess. What's in there? Distance future, distance space time falling. What the hell in the name of physics is this? Opening ring, depth infinite, surrounding area, infinite hole chart. What the hell? Are we making black holes?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact,
A hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay, let's go.
You see,
Let's see
isn't it
how much you
wonderful?
can.
One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Continue to pop. Continue.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to
what
the
if
top.
I don't?
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
What happens if I don't?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated
management,
by falling.
Everyone means sincerely
What
management.
person actually
What kind
wants
of
to
meeting
fall
is that?
infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Just the two of us, we can make it if we try.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay, I'm not going to teleport. I think I'm not going to. Nothing is changing.
Oh, it might take 10 minutes just to...
Oh, okay, this is taking all
Great.
long.
Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I can get that. Okay. Let's get other things.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Yeah, I used it. So, what is this part? We are here. Now I'm here. Okay. So, reassurance bucket. Okay. First things first. Let's go towards these parts.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, yes,
There
we'll
it
go at the
ends.
end of the... well, we'll figure that out later.
Okay. What if we go upstairs? Okay. How about downstairs? Okay. Nothing. Mostly infinite jest. Mostly? What do you mean by mostly infinite? How can be mostly infinite? Let alone having a jest of it. Mostly infinite jest. Here's your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love.
Jim.
Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button.
Jim.
Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
No, I don't.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim.
Jim.
All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Jim.
See, if you'd only played along, that would have been your name the button says. But no. Instead,
Jim.
I can't
Jim.
even
Jim.
think about it.
Jim.
I'm taking the Jim button
Jim.
away.
Jim. 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 Jim.
That was fun. Okay.
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
That would actually be even more hilarious. I've been in this room? Yeah, I've been. So, this is the only room, I guess, that remains.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime
Why
you're
it's so
holding the bucket,
open?
a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass
No.
that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on.
How a bucket
give
is
it
going to be a
try.
perfect solution.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in
No.
fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
What's it with the bucket?
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
You need a purpose, man. It doesn't do shit.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Of course no one does it. What do you think, my man? This is the gym button. So what are we doing here now? What is a door that I didn't test? Is there was a door here that I didn't see? Or what? Confused. Oh, it's that hole. Okay. So, what to do now? I'm pretty sure I saw like an exit. Yeah, there we go. The exit is this way, but it's blocked. What? I don't remember going this way. So let's try going this way.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
What is in this suitcase here? Randomly placed. Oh yeah, that's perfectly architectural and design.
So Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2.
Yay!
I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes. Okay. This is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
It's even worse, somehow.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect.
Okay.
With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work?
Let's see where it goes.
I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up.
That
all right,
seems like the ultra deluxe that they're going to.
Take a look.
This ending is awfully long.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay,
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427.
I'm not quite
and
sure
he
if
pushed
anything
buttons
hasn't
on the
changed in
keyboard.
this cut.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came.
Okay, this is the, like,
As though he
the
had been
first...
made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Oh,
And then
this was
one
the-
day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would
Stanley
forever
Parable
change
2.
Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one
Everything
single
changed
order
to
had
2.
arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting,
Almost
or even
everything is
say
the same.
hi. Never in all his years at the company
The
had this happened,
balloons.
this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked,
The balloons.
frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So let's see what's changed.
All of his
Of course,
co-workers were gone.
balloons.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
So what is it now?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
What happens if I go into the right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the
Nothing
bucket turned out to be
except
correct? Was this
additional,
no?
like,
Never mind.
collectibles or
The
something?
bucket was wrong.
Seriously?
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay, let's go to get at the
And so the two of them
intended
detoured through the
ending
maintenance section and walked straight
and see
ahead to the
where
opposite
the
door.
this little one was so much annoying.
Still no one was here.
Okay.
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort
Let's
now
go
more
here.
than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
What's up with the bucket? Okay. Oh,
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
just shut the fuck up, man. Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of
What's
confusion
up
and
with
chaos.
the bucket?
It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two
What?
of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845.
Two, 8, 4, 5.
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
What's up with the bucket? This bucket freaking going for too freaking long. I mean, too freaking long.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Okay, let's go downstairs.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
What's it? What is this?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Yep, definitely the first ending. So let's see.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
What
kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Really?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
This bucket thing is going too long. So what to do now? Oh. There is very bright. What's here? Full lighting. It's that circle. Jump circle? Seriously? Okay. So let's go to the power facility. Central idle awaiting input. Okay.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Come on.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
This game is awfully slow.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
So we didn't get the ending because I got the bucket.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Let's do it without the bucket.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go for it as fast. Are you kidding me?
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and
did
got
I
back
just
on track.
stepped onto?
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. What is it? What they just discovered?
Poor thing. I have zero idea how endings are in this one game.
Okay, let's.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley
Let's
was
go to
once
us
again
as,
stunned to discover
the
not an
ending that's
indication
supposed
of
to
any
be.
human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Seriously. Seriously, man.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Okay. There is nothing about the bucket now. This. Just let me get the internet ending for fuck's sake. What happened to gym? There's supposed to be like a gym function.
Stanley
or something.
walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm going to ignore escape option for now.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Let's go.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay. System power. Let's see where it goes for the intended ending.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking,
it gone lower
but
than
happiness.
before.
Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's it. That was the intended ending. Okay, there is so many possibilities of endings that I have in mind, but this is the time that we about to end the strip. So for now, I guess